and you can speak on this better than I can, got himself in better shape mentally.
Oh, 100%. Like, he came back a different person.
So, Dom, you're in the game now. You're in the game now. And what a lot of people probably don't recognize is, obviously you grew up the son of Rey Mysterio. And, a lot of people would probably think that from a very early age, this was a path that you wanted to pursue. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case.
It's not. I played soccer and football. And I started playing those sports when I was about 8 years old. And then those kind of just carried on through high school and middle school and stuff. And I never crossed my mind to wrestle or anything. Plus, my high school never had like a wrestling team. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure if they did, that would have, sparked an interest. But they didn't have anything, so I just stuck with soccer and football. But once junior college hit and I got in there, I told my dad I wanted to give it a try, and it was like love at first sight. And
this was, what year was this?
That was about 2017.
Mid-17.
Because when I first met you, Dom, that wasn't on the agenda.
No.
At all. You were playing ball and there was no plan. You were going to school and there was no plan. And and good on you, Ray, for not, trying to push that on him, which a lot of people in your position might.
Right.
What was it like when he approached you and had that conversation and let you know that, hey, Pops, this is something I seriously want to pursue, and I'd love to follow in your footsteps. As a father and, a legend in the industry, what did that feel like?
It was shocking because, like you said, I never pushed him to lean over towards wrestling or to follow in my footsteps. I kind of just saw him very busy in his world, like playing football, which was probably the main sport that he liked to play at the age of 17 and 18. And I just never thought that he would come up to me and ask me, Pops, I want to try and make it in this business. So when he broke that news to me, I was like, wow, really? Like, didn't expect it. And said, I'll be the first to let you know if you have what it takes. I remember I got Conan, his godfather, together, and I told him, let's jump in the ring with him and see if right off the back, we know if he's going to pick up or not. And sure enough, first steps he took in the ring, it's like he was picking things up so fast. And that only happens with natural talent.
It's true.
And like he said a couple times, all the years that he traveled with me as a kid, when we did the storyline with Eddie, he was 7 years old, and he soaked all of that in without even knowing that one day this was going to be his destiny.
Yeah.
So it was just beautiful.
Yeah. And when we met, you were not in WWE. No. You had left WWE. You were doing your own thing. You're working the independent shows, making a ton of cash, not working as much as the WWE schedule, required at that time. We met through a mutual friend. And we just got to talking about, the fact that you wanted to get a little more disciplined. At that point, you were making too much money and got a little comfortable. I mean, look, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm out of line here.
150 pesos, come on.
You'd come up from that, but you weren't taking your training and, the eating as seriously as a professional athlete of your caliber should. And, good on you for being self-aware of that. And, started putting in the work and you started getting in better shape. And, somewhere along that journey, you decided to make a call to me one day with a request about your son.
Yes.
Would you care to tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Of course. So, I had been, like you said, not traveling as much because I wasn't, signed to a major company. I wasn't with WWE at the time. And I was working every now and then or when I wanted to get bookings. But my son, on the other hand, had no future ahead of him. He wasn't playing football. He was going to community college, but he would go whenever he wanted to. And I didn't see him in the right direction. And I had no idea what direction he wanted to take, but I did want to find out. Mm-hmm. So I ended up asking him, what is it that you want to do out of your life, because there's nothing happening. Now, prior to this, my wife and I had got into it a couple times because my wife has always been very defensive, and that's
Of her
my
children?
baby boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not just because it's her son, but she's been like that with my daughter as well. And my wife appreciates so much the work that I do, but I was worried about Dom. He was getting older and he was still at home. He wasn't doing nothing. So we sat down, broke it down to him. What is that you want? And I think you had told me, right, that
Well, at that point I was already training, but remember I had gotten hurt.
yes.
I had something up in my back, and then I used that to just not do anything anymore.
Excuse, yeah, which we tend to do.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
do.
of course.
We all do, yeah. But eventually, it was time for him to make a big change, and that big change was to leave home and be independent.
Yep.
And I remember talking to my wife. I need to set him up with Chris and have him leave. At least he's going with someone that I know and that I know would look after him, not take care of him,
Right.
but just would have his back if he needed it. And that's when I reached out to you.
And thank you for doing that. Like, what an honor that was for me to be on the receiving end of that phone call, and for you to have that trust and belief in me. And it was a very humbling experience, because I got it. You saw a situation that you felt could be improved upon, and you thought that your son needed to basically go off into the wild
Yeah.
and learn how to hold his own and be independent and have structure and learn the importance of discipline. And you had some weight to lose at that point.
Yes.
Let's
A
not
lot
forget
of
about
weight,
that. You had a lot of weight to lose at that point. We just did a little walk around Nutrition Solutions, where the team was, gracious enough to put some pictures of all of us up on the screens. And there was some of the pictures from back in the day, which, you look like a totally different person now. How much weight did you lose in your time here?
Total?
Yeah.
Or just here?
In the time that when you came here?
I lost about 60 pounds.
Holy shit.
Came in weighing.
I came to Tampa and I was weighing 260.
No way, really?
Yeah.
260.
I hit it very well because of my height
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
and my clothes. I mean, I'm comfortable in like baggy clothes
Right.
anyways.
Yep.
So I just hit it very well.
Yeah, and it was interesting because to your point, Ray, when you said that, you and Dom, or when you and Conan evaluated Dom, you saw that he had the potential. I remember the first time Dom and I trained together, I sent you videos of us training. I was
Yes.
like, your son is a natural athlete.
Yeah.
Some of the movements I had him do, it's not normal for people to be able to do that stuff on the
Right.
first workout. And I pushed him. I mean, that's why you sent him here. I wanted to see what he had. And it was really, really cool to see it was very, very obvious that, that was your son.
Yeah.
It was very, very obvious that, the athleticism, obviously, look, you're amazing. One of the most, if not the most, most acrobatic, high-flying superstars of all time. Let me retract that statement. He's the best to ever do it. He's the best to ever do it the way that he does it. He's the one who put lucha on the map. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dom.
I'm no words for me here.
So yeah, man, it was really, really cool to see that. And, even at that heavier package, 260, he could still move. And, I've worked with people all different shapes and sizes. And, typically you can kind of tell that somebody's got it. And I knew early on that Dom had it. And it's fucking amazing that since then, so much has happened. He came here, worked in our company, earned his way through the FNG ranks, earned the uniform, was here for about 6 months, got himself in better shape physically, but also got him in, and you can speak on this better than I can, got himself in better shape mentally.
Oh, 100%. Like, he came back a different person.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. As you were talking, I was reflecting on how important those 2 steps were for me as a parent, and for my wife, and for my son, to see his growth, and how much trust we put on you to take care of him, not only with him by sending him here to Tampa, but, I also said, Chris, I want want to change, man. I'm ready to make a big change. I've been lacking on my dieting, my workout, and you changed me completely. So, as much as we wanted to do it, I think it falls in your hands because you took us and you guided us, you mentored us, and you put us on the right track. It was up to us to make sure we stayed there.
And it was my pleasure to do that.